will tell you we're going to stop fighting for 60 days, including in Lebanon. That's a big deal. Now, the Strait of Hormuz will reopen for international flow of traffic of merchant marine ships going through there as soon as this is signed on Friday, which means that 20% of the world's oil that had been choked off through Iranian threats. And again, remember, if somebody tells you, oh, the Strait of Hormuz was blocked by, there was a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran, tell them they don't know what they're talking about. The Strait of Hormuz had no traffic going through because of the threat by Iran and their proxies. They never controlled the Strait of Hormuz. They never had a navy to stand there and stop anybody going through the Strait of Hormuz. They simply were able to put enough pressure on Lloyd's of London to say, nobody's going to go through there because I can't give anybody insurance, because I can't guarantee safe passage. That will open up beginning on Friday, and hopefully the insurance companies will see fit to start issuing certificates of insurance to allow a $150 billion oil tanker with $150 million worth of oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz unharassed without any threats. If that happens, then you're instantly going to see 20% of the world's oil supply get back into the world market. Now, at the same time, when that happens, the blockade of Iranian ships will cease, and Iran will be able to start pushing out their oil through their own ports. Now, the sanctions, we're waiting to see when the sanctions will be lifted, and will Iran be able to sell their oil on the global market? That's yet to be determined. Is Iran going to get a nuke? Donald Trump says no, absolutely. That is a deal breaker. That's what this whole thing was about. Those details are to be determined. But we do know the military operations, including that in Lebanon, will stop immediately once this is signed. That's basically where we are right now. Strait's going to get opened back up. The president still says Iran is not going to get any nukes. And he's saying that they're going to have to, the U.S. or China are the only people that are able to get to where those nuclear material is being stored, or not stored. It's actually underneath rubble at the bottom of a mountain. They'll go in there and they'll take that out as well. Now, here's the important part. Because we have countries that are speaking different languages but have different cultures. So how does this play in Tehran? So in Tehran right now, a couple things to look at. There are hardliners that do not want to capitulate. They do not want to have anything to do with this. They do not want to have any deals with the great Satan, which is the United States, or the little Satan, which is Israel. They are hardliners. They're dead enders. They believe in this theocracy, and they want to have a world dominated by this Iranian regime. They do not want to cooperate with the United States of America in any way, shape, or form. And right now, we're starting to see reports there is fission caused by all of this. You have the Ayatollah, who's taken over for his father, that was killed on the first day of the attacks. Then you have the IRGC hardliners. You've already had the president of Iran who's quit, saying, I can't do anything. IRGC won't let me do anything. The mullahs won't let me do anything. The Ayatollah's over here. I can't govern. He already walked out. We're starting to see more and more of that happen, where you're starting to see these hardcore members of the government and the more pragmatic members of the government starting to actually have some internal fussing and feuding and fighting. We'll see if that continues. The Iranian people have had limited attempts to restore the internet back, but the one thing that's going on there right now is they're actually under the pressure of everything that's gone on economically. So if you think it's been bad for us with gas above $4 a gallon, over there, it's absolutely decimated the Iranian economy, and you're starting to see people again bubble up the frustration of where they are financially and how their economy is, and we'll see whether that puts more pressure on the regime and the IRGC to make a deal with the United States to get the oil flowing, to get money coming back into this country. So that's where we are right now. Now, is Israel happy with this? We're seeing reports on both sides that, the fighting has stopped. That's good. But Israel, not satisfied. Again, there was firing back and forth between Hezbollah and Israel. They've been told, both of them, to stand down, stop this right now. We'll see. We'll see what Benjamin Netanyahu's public statements are, and then we'll start seeing reports about what he's saying in private as well. But right now, 60-day extension. Strait's going to be open back up. Iran's going to be able to get their ports reopened, and we're getting closer and closer to this deal. And the one important thing is, and if you're listening to people talk about this, if anybody starts talking to you or you listen to somebody and they're talking about regime change, I want you to remember that is mission creep. What's mission creep? You've heard that when you talk about what happened in Afghanistan and Iraq. You go in there with the mission. The mission for the president of the United States was the Iranians cannot have a nuke. End of story. Boom. Stop. That's it. That's what they went in there for. And then instantly people go, and we're going to overthrow the government of Iran, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. That's when you have a mission that's clearly set out. And then other people start to go, yeah, but let's lean into this as well. But if we're going to go that way, let's do this as well. It's kind of like you go on a road trip, right? So this weekend, I wanted to go up to Charlottesville and have some fun up there on Saturday. Just go for it. It was a nice day. Put the top down in the car, drove to Charlottesville. Our mission creep was, I said, well, if we're in Charlottesville, let's go to Buc-ee's. I want to get a new USA 250 cup from Buc-ee's. We'll take an extra hour drive up there. That was mission creep that got us back to town later than I anticipated, because the original mission, going to Charlottesville, going to do a little bit of shopping, do a little wine tasting, have some lunch, go to a couple places around Charlottesville, then come back to Richmond at a reasonable hour. And then once we got going into Charlottesville, I said, well, I'd like to go to Buc-ee's. I haven't been to Buc-ee's for a while. I'd like to have a brisket sandwich and see what they have for USA 250. So my mission creep was to go up there. It's an extension of what you started. And then somebody will go, oh, let's go do this. It's called having a wild, crazy idea that takes you someplace. The mission creep that people are trying to put onto this is there was going to be a change of government. If getting rid of the nukes happened to cause the Iranian regime to change, so be it. But that was never what the mission was. Anybody tells you any differently, that's 100% mission creep. So right now, Straits reopen. Donald Trump says they're not getting a nuke. They're going to continue these discussions. And the bottom line is either you go in there and you finish them off, which means if you really want to do this and conquer and have them unconditionally surrender and change the regime, you have to have boots on the ground. And the president told Brian Kilmeade last week, we don't have the appetite for that. We just don't have the appetite for that. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. But on Friday, they'll have the signing in Switzerland of this agreement. And by the way, the most important thing for me this morning is finally the Iranian Security Council issues a statement after Trump announces the deal has been complete, and they have acknowledged that there is an MOU that's been negotiated with the United States of America to end the hostilities. That's important. That means the IRGC is acknowledging that they're going to have this agreement. Now, how they're going to spin it to their people is going to be completely different. They're going to say, we brought the great Satan to their knees. We destroyed the United States. We sunk their Navy. We grounded their Air Force. We destroyed their troops. And now they're coming to us begging for us to let them off the hook. They're going to spin it one way. We'll have our version of it. And again, remember, history is written by the victors. So depends on who ends up coming out on the big end of this is how the story will be written in the future. But right now, Iran will try to save face within its own country. You'll start to see more and more people saying, oh, Donald Trump got played. Oh, the Iranians destroyed him. The Iranians did this. The Iranians won here. Donald Trump lost there. That's 100 spin that's going to come out of Tehran. You'll see it repeated back by some of the president's detractors. But anyway, bottom line is they're going to sign the deal on Friday. We'll have another ceasefire extended for 60 days. The Strait gets reopened. Oil flows again. Iran will be able to start moving their oil offshore again that they've been having backed up for the longest time. And we'll see if this brings true peace to the Middle East. So that's the latest on what's going on with Iran. But you will start seeing gas prices fall. We're already starting to see them fall over the weekend. So hopefully you'll continue to see them get back into the $2 range. Although that does make me feel old because I keep remembering when gas was 25 cents a gallon. And then I remember when everybody freaked out when it was $1 a gallon. Now we're begging, please get me under $3. Please get me under $4 a gallon and I'll be happy. Wow. How the world has changed in our lifetime. All right. That's the latest of what's going on in Iran. We'll have more on that coming up on the program. Now, let me remind everybody, today's program is brought to you by Pearson Signature Dealerships. And that Pearson promise. Only at Pearson Signature Dealerships do they double the engine and transmission warranty